Hey guys. Okay, so I want to do a Q&A today for questions that you have about your doTERRA business. For those of you who are not aware, we made some changes to this group. We're taking all of the marketing game changers stuff off and putting it in another group so that this is just about helping you build your doTERRA business. It's not ClickFunnels questions. It's not doing your funnel questions. That needs to be separate. So I'm excited about that. If you want details about that, watch the previous Facebook Live that I just did. I gave you all the information, and I want to do a Q&A right now about building your doTERRA business. So if you have a question, post it, and I'm going to be watching for the questions. And until I start getting questions, I'm going to start talking about some of the things that we have noticed that people are asking about, okay? So TYSM for separating these subjects. Uh-oh, Valerie. What's the TYSM? Tell me what that is. My mind is blank right this second. Tell me what TYSM is. I'll be watching. Anyway, okay, so I know there's a lag. So when I ask you that, then it takes a minute for you to see, then you got to type it in. So one of the things I want to talk about is publishing, because even if you don't want to build your business online, people are going to look for you. Even if you meet someone like on an airplane or, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Valerie. That's awesome. So even if you meet, let's say you meet someone on a plane, you meet someone in the park, you meet someone at church, you start talking about helping them with the oils, well, guess what's happening? Now, all of a sudden, these people are wondering how much credibility you have. And whether you like it or not, today we are in an age where people want to look you up and they want to see if you are credible. And you don't have to be online, but if you are, it's helpful. So and most people are, so I'm going to assume that either you are online or you wouldn't mind learning a little bit about what to do there. So I just want you to think about this. Even if you just start a Facebook group, and even if you, let's say you have an Instagram and you're just posting, I hope I didn't lose you guys. I forgot to click that I was busy on my phone. So hopefully we don't have any more calls coming in. So what happens is people are looking and they want to see what you're like and what you talk about. So they're going to check you out a little bit. And if all you have on your information pages, your social media, is information about your kids and your family, that's wonderful because it helps them get to know you a little bit. But the reality is 20% of your posts need to be something that helps them with whatever credibility you want to have. So for example, doesn't necessarily mean 20% of your posts are about doTERRA. In fact, if that's all you do, you're less likely to be as successful, because there are people who just do all their posts are about essential oils and this is what I do. But the reality is, think about if I just post about essential oils and it's about helping people with the oils. That's great. But can you imagine what happens is if I add information about how, like, some healthy things to eat that are helpful for your gut, and these are the oils that I would suggest adding to that. That adds way more value. It also creates a feeling that, you know what, I'm not a person who just thinks the oils are the only thing. There are a lot of ways to be healthy. I know the oils are a crazy, amazing support, and so I will always help you know what oils to add to what you're doing. But like giving them other pieces of information. So for example, I have somebody on my team who is huge into yoga. So a lot of her posts are about her family, about yoga, and then she adds the essential oils in. So not only are people interested in you and following you because you know essential oils, but because they learn about yoga and they learn a stretch that's awesome for you. So can you imagine a yoga person posting, hey, even if you're not into yoga, the number one best stretch that you can do that's going to change your body forever. A lot of people are going to be going, oh my goodness. Okay, so remember, I want you publishing, and a lot of you are scared. I saw somebody who said, oh, I just started a podcast at your urging. Way to go, Valerie. So I'm excited about that. Tell me what your podcast is, because that'll be fun for people to know. And what I like to make sure people understand is there are 3 different ways you can publish. You don't need to do a podcast. You don't need to do Facebook Lives. What I want you to think about is what is a way that you like to communicate? Are you the type of person who can throw up your phone, get on a video, say some things, and that's easy for you. That's simple. You don't have to worry about it, but that's what you're doing. Okay, so this is the deal. If that's the type of person you are, then you want to do Facebook. Set up a Facebook page, do some Facebook Lives, and just do one every week. If you're doing something every week, then people can totally follow you. Now, what I really recommend, if you're really going to do this and you want to get enrollments online, then you need to be posting each day. But remember, 80% of your posts need to be giving, and giving posts are not telling what you bought that day or what you did that day. Those are fine. You can do that in addition that day. But if I'm going to tell what I bought, the only reason I'm telling what I bought, because I want people to feel like they're connected with me and they want to see those things. But if I'm going to say what I bought, I'm going to say, okay, you guys, I just got this dress for my niece's wedding and I'm super excited, look, and I might show them the dress. And then that doesn't add value. And the value is not just, this is where I bought it, unless you're a fashion blogger, because that's what people are wanting. But my point in showing the dress is saying, you want to know what? It's super exciting about the dress, but the reason I'm getting it, the reason I'm so excited is because I'm going to my niece's wedding. And it just makes me think about how relationships are so important. So I just want you to remember, whether you're talking about your business or your personal life, just remember these relationships matter. And when you're dealing with issues that you need to work on, or there are problems in a relationship, or things are awesome, just don't take it for granted, because they're important and they matter. So do you see how I turned that into something where now I've given you an uplift for the day, and I've given you something that is of value, not just, hey, look at the dress I bought, aren't I so cute? Okay. So Valerie says hers is called Your Sensational, SCENT dash S Sensational. So sensational journey to to wellness lifetime. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. Valerie, I'm really proud of you. I'm going to go check it out and see yours. Stacy says, I'm getting the nerve up to do the lives for 365 days. Good. I am behind the scenes person, but I've had people tell me I should, read more. I should show myself. Well, that's awesome. People love to see you. But second type of person is the kind of person who is kind of private. You don't want people to necessarily see, but you have something to say. I don't care how reserved you feel like you are. You have something of value to share and to add. And maybe it's just because you understand what that's like to be in a world that tries to tell us that only the people who are outgoing and out there are the ones who are successful. That is absolutely not true. They're on my qualifying legs, the couple who is the biggest team on my entire team of all my qualifying legs is Danny and Nicole Larson. And a lot of you may never have even heard of them because they are quiet, they're behind the scenes, and yet they have the most massive team of all of my team. And our team is over 70% of dōTERRA. So that just goes to show you, your personality does not have to be crazy out there. So if you're the type of person who is kind of behind the scenes, wants to be, I would absolutely agree. People love to see you if you're okay with that. But if you don't want to do that, guess what? Those kinds of moments will come, but you're a blogger. Start a blog and start linking things to your blog. Start sharing content that adds value. Again, if you're going to share the dress that you bought, make sure you're adding value. If I'm going to tell about a problem that I dealt with, or I'm really upset about something, I went to a store and the person was not very nice to me and I was really upset about it. And I thought, you know what? I'm totally making this up off the cuff. This is might be something that I would post. You know what? I work so hard and I give my all. I give my soul to my people. And when I'm doing my business, I try super hard to give. And when I'm paying for something, I need somebody to take care of me. And you know what? That was really hurtful. But then I realized, you want to know what? I'm comparing them to the moments when I'm on, when I'm in my best behavior. Man, I'm on and I'm taking care of people. But I'm not comparing that to the day that I'm having my very worst day ever and I feel like I can't even deal with anything and people don't even know that this is what I'm dealing with and it's all I can do to not be rude. And if I compare it to that, maybe I can have a little bit of compassion. And you want to know what? My days like that, I hope people will have compassion for me. And so that's the kind of person I want to be. So I am ashamed of the way that I judge that person. And I am committing to you guys that I am going to, do you see the point? Do you see how I'm now adding value? I'm not just saying, I had a problem when someone was mean to me. and I get everybody going, oh, I'm so sorry you had such a hard time. I can't believe they treated you like that. That's just drama. Add value. Give them something that helps us all grow together. Lisa says, I'm talking about clearing money beliefs. Awesome. That is a good one. Valerie, when you say to publish every day, does it have to be on the same platform, or can you blog one day, podcast another? That's a really good question. Video the next. You can do all three, but I'll tell you this. I have full-time hired people who help me because I have more than one platform. So just understand that it's to not get overwhelmed, start with one platform. You might get all excited, do one platform for 30 days. And what you can do is, let's say you want to do Facebook Lives, but then you'd like to do a podcast. Do 30 days doing your Facebook Lives, and then pull the recording off, and you can use those to start a podcast, so that if you decide at the end of 30 days, you know what, I can handle this, then you can start your podcast, but you can actually post the exact same content on both places. You just pull the audio, and so make sure there are ways to do that, and I'm not going to go into that right now. That might be another Facebook Live. But you can pull the audio, put it up as your podcast, and now it doesn't take any more time for you to create content. It does take more time for you to post that. Now, let's say YouTube. One of the things a lot of people do, they might have a podcast, so you don't have to be seen. They're on the podcast. All you have to do is record. Dude, pull out your phone and do an audio, and then it's ready. You don't even have to get dressed up. You don't even have to try to look nice. Whenever I'm going to be on camera, I'm like, I got to do my makeup. Which, I mean, hello, you guys have seen me without getting all dressed up. So I'm trying to be real with you. And sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. But the reality is, it's a lot easier to just do your podcast. And then I've seen people who, what you can do on your YouTube video is, like if you have a YouTube page, have a picture that is just a still picture. It's a picture of you with wording, hey, welcome to my podcast about blah, blah, blah. And that is the wording on the picture of you. And that's the picture. So you might have a podcast where you have video, or a YouTube channel where you have some videos, but then you also have the podcast. And so whenever you record a podcast episode, you post it on YouTube with just that picture showing the entire time, and people can just listen to it. So Lisa says, I'm starting a Facebook group for magical living in every area of your life to prosper in every area of your life. Good job. I'll just tell you, if you can only start with once a week, do that. But I've told you this before in some of the trainings. I promise you that if you will post every day, take one day a week off. Basically what I mean is 5 days a week. If you will post every day, and I'm going to amend that, because 365 days is actually the best. Now, and if you do that, I promise you, your life will change. Your finances will change. I promise you, it will be different 1 year from now. 1 year from now, you write in your journal right now exactly what it is that your life is like, how much you're making, what your team looks like, everything. And I promise you, if you will do that, things will change. And a year from now, you look at what you wrote and you'll go, I cannot believe this. Now, I'll give you a little hint. For me, Sundays are my Sabbath, and that is very sacred to me. It matters to me, and I try to, what we call, keep the Sabbath day holy, which is whatever that means for me. For me, that means don't work, don't go to the store, don't do things that I would normally do. Use that day for family, for worship, for those kinds of things. Okay, so that day is different for me. So I don't want it to be a work day where I'm posting about dōTERRA. So what I do on my social media is I have it preset so that it will post on Sunday, so that I'm not needing to do any work. But the Sunday posts are always something that is about being a better person. It's uplifting. It might be a quote from Martin Luther King about something we can do better. It might be something that's about something religious, or some Buddha quote, or whatever. It might be about something I learned at church like the week before, whatever. So you see how you can work it out for whatever your schedule is and for whatever is important to you for your priorities. Okay, so is the duration of time that is best for a Facebook Live 5 minutes, 20 minutes? Is there a time I should shoot for? Actually, no. It totally depends on the content. A lot of people start with 5 minutes at a time, but make sure, and this is the thing, if people think I've got to do 20 minutes, they start going on and on and on and dragging on. I would recommend you start with 5 minutes at a time, and if you go over, that's okay. But you're thinking, okay, the 3 bullet points I want to tell them are the 3 secrets to being a better leader. and you've got those 3 secrets written out, and that's all you're sharing. You're like, dude, this is secret number 1, and tell a couple of sentences about it. This is secret number 2, tell sentences about it. Then if people ask questions, or if you think of something, you think of an example, you're like, this is secret number 2, and you know what? I was working at a job where I had this and this happen, and you know what I mean? So if it goes longer, fine. But then you're like, I don't have a lot of time. I got to get right to the point. Then people feel like you added value. Okay. So thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to be here every week from now on. And normally our Q&As will be longer. They'll usually be closer to about a half hour. I have some meetings that I've got to go to. And now be watching for these Facebook Lives and the Q&As every Tuesday at 11. So we'll go anywhere from 20 minutes to half hour to an hour. Might not always be an hour, but okay. So is it best to have a pre-scripted Facebook Live or wing it? I would not have it written out word for word. And you might be bad at it at first. I'll answer this last question before we go. Don't pre-script it, but have bullet points. So, and it's okay to, like I had these bullet points for my last one where I wanted to make sure I was giving announcements to this group. So you can say, okay, let me see. I want to make sure I covered everything. And it's okay if you look at it and do that. Okay, so you might have your 3 special secrets that you're going to share that day about publishing or whatever. As soon as you share those, then end it. Two hints. You don't start off saying a bunch of drama, waiting for people to get on, because that is the worst thing you can do. Realize that most people will watch your Facebook Live or read your post later. They're not going to do it the second you post it up. Most people are going to watch it later. So you got to do it as if. Do you guys want to get on here? Like if you want to tell your leader about, hey, go watch that Facebook Live about publishing. Do you want there to be 3 minutes at the beginning going, hey, you guys, we're just waiting for people to get on. We're just going to wait 2 more minutes. No, you started on time. You start going and people can go back and watch it. Because as soon as you get on, you start it, and at the end, don't go drama. Okay, you guys, And sometimes I do this because I'm so excited about, like, I see people or whatever. Make sure that you go, okay, thanks for getting on. You guys are awesome. So, if you want to answer one more question, let them know. I'm going to answer one more question. Okay, so thank you for joining me, you guys, and I will practice what I preach, and I will see you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye.